Alright, hello YouTube. Just wanted to make a kind of quick video talking about our nearest solar system to our solar system, and it's called the Alpha Centauri triple star system. It's made up of two bright stars, Alpha Centauri A and B, and a dimmer star called Proxima Centauri. And Proxima Centauri is the closest of the three, I guess, at 4.25 light years from Earth. So that doesn't sound that far away, but light can travel a long way in a year. It's very far. I mean, it travels at 186,000 miles per second. So, and there's a lot of seconds in a year. Let's make the calculation. All right. So, how many seconds are there in a year? Well, let's multiply 186,000 seconds in a minute. All right, 60 seconds in a minute. So there's a minute. And then, there's 60 seconds in an hour. All right, so there's an hour. All right, then there's 24 hours in a day. 24. And then there's 365 days in a year. 365. So that's how far, how many miles light will travel in a year. And then it's 4.2 light years away. 4.25 actually. Alright, so now that's million, billion, trillion. So you got trillion, 929,208 miles away is how far Proxima Centauri. That's how far away it is. 24.9 trillion, because that's million, billion, trillion. So that's pretty far. So it would take light 4.25 years from there to reach here. It's pretty far. But in the grand scheme of the entire Milky Way galaxy, it's actually very small, because the Milky Way galaxy is like 100,000 light years across. So 4.2 is a very small part of 100,000. It would take almost 25,000 journeys, from Earth to Proxima Centauri to equal the entire length from one side to the other of the Milky Way galaxy. 25,000 trips, to be the whole width of the galaxy. So really, even though it's very far, in our reality, it's not really that far in the entire reality of the Milky Way galaxy. And then if you're talking about, say, the distance from our galaxy to the next nearest galaxy, let's see how far that is. Let me ask that question. What is the next closest galaxy to the Milky Way? Yeah. Okay, the Andromeda galaxy. It's 2.5 million light years 2.5 million. So our galaxy is 100,000 light years across. This galaxy is 2.5 million light years away from our galaxy. It says it's the farthest object that can be seen with the naked eye. So, I mean, like, just to get to our closest neighbor solar system, a little over 4 light years away. If we could travel at 1/25th the speed of light, it would still take us about 100 years to get to Alpha Centauri. 1/25th the speed of light. Right now we can't do that. But they're saying that NASA is funding a project to launch a mission to Alpha Centauri by 2069. I'm pretty sure I'll be dead before that, because I was born in 1965. So I'd be 104 years old by the time they did that. But who knows? Maybe they'll start early. If they could start within the next couple of decades, maybe I'll see it at least start. Of course, I would never see it finished, because, even at 1/25th the speed of light, it would still take 100 years to get there. So let's say they could start in 2050. They're not going to get there till 2150. So unless I could live to be, almost 200 years old, which that's not going to happen unless some sort of, they come up with some miraculous, long life stuff in medicine, or they can cryogenically freeze me and then wake me up, a couple hundred years from now. I'm not going to see it. I think I might be able to see us land on a manned mission to Mars, because I think they're planning on that by about 2030. I think they're calling it Artemis, the Artemis project. I think that's what they're calling that. And manned bases on the moon before that. I don't know. I don't really know if I believe it, because I'll believe it when I see it. But you never know. So anyway, I really wasn't going to talk about Andromeda, because that's getting to, unless we become like just leaps and bounds in evolution and a technological achievement, very soon. We're not going to really be talking about that anytime soon. But hey, 2069. As far as Earth time, in the period of the entirety of the existence of the Earth, 2069 is like only a second. Humans have been evolving very quickly on Earth, in the last few thousand years. But yeah, I wanted to show this image of the Alpha Centauri, or actually the Alpha Centauri star system. It's a triple star system. These 3 stars. The biggest one, they call it Rigel Centaurus. It's a yellow dwarf star, and it's got the information about it there, which is kind of technical. And then it's actually got, each of these stars has planets orbiting. The closest to Rigel Centaurus is called Hermes, which is a rocky dwarf planet. So that one's probably, I don't know. I'd be guessing, but I'd probably say that one's probably kind of similar to Mars or something. I mean, Mercury. So it's probably too hot to live there. And then you got this one. It's called Apollo. It's a rocky. Says it's a rocky planet. Of course, this is not. I mean, they're so far away that I really don't know that all this information is going to be 100% true. Because, I mean, how can we be totally sure of all this until we actually get a lot closer to actually see really well? But let's just take this as truth for the moment, just in case it is true. Alright, we don't know that it is, but maybe it is. Alright, so you got Apollo, rocky planet, kind of looks like Saturn, but says it's rocky and not big gas cloud planet. Then you got a smaller one, kind of looks like it might be a moon of this one, called Aeneas. It says it's a rocky dwarf planet. Smaller than that. Then you got Zeus. Says it's a class 2 gas giant. That's probably kind of similar to either Saturn or Jupiter. Maybe more like Jupiter, kind of the way they drew it here. And then, I don't know if I guess these might orbit this guy. You got a rocky dwarf planet Cadmus, rocky dwarf planet or rocky planet Perseus, and a rocky planet Athena. They're kind of going with mythological names. Alright, then they got Oceanus, an ocean planet. That's like, it's almost like Star Wars here. Then you got, then they actually drew in space stations. Like, I guess this would be like 300 or 400 years from now when we're actually populating this place and we're putting out space stations or something. And then we got some outer planets. What's this called? Alpha Centauri A belt. Rock-dominated asteroid belt. And they got some, I guess these are like the large planetoids in the asteroid belt there. Alright, so then the next, we come down, okay, I guess in between these two stars, you got a ice dwarf planet called Persephone. Looks like a small Saturn-like planet, and they put a space station there. Okay, guess they thought that was a good place for a space station. Then the next star, it's an orange dwarf star called Ptolemy. It's, I guess, the next, it's a little bit smaller than Rigel Centaurus. Alright, and then the closest planet to it, Hades, molten iron planet. I bet that's very similar to Mercury. Alright, then we got Hephaestus, iron planet. Okay. Poseidon, a rocky planet. Seems like that should have been a water planet, Poseidon. Alright, but then we got something interesting here. Ares. It says it's an Earth-like rocky planet. It says it's terraformed. And they put a space station there. So I guess they think that this planet called Ares could be habitable. Like it's sort of like Earth. It's in the right spot. Of course, they also have this one over here, which is another Earth-like rocky planet, and they say terraformed on that one too. So we got two sort of like Earth-like rocky planets. Then you got this Aphrodite. I'm not sure why they drew a line between them. That one, the way they drew it kind of reminds me of Mars. Sort of orangey looking. So then they got the Hera, Earth-like planet, rocky planet terraformed with 2 space stations. Okay, so I guess they think this one's the best of all of them to populate. Then they have Koius, ocean planet. But they drew it orange. Was it Orange Ocean? Was it an ocean of methane or something? But they got a ring around it, kind of like, it's kind of looking like a little bit like Saturn. Although I think Saturn, if you look at it through a telescope, it's more bluish looking. Yeah. Then they got one called Cronus, ammonia rocky planet. Okay, so I guess it's got an ammonia atmosphere. But they put a space station around that one called Sagan, like Carl Sagan, I guess. These, I guess, these are ice dwarf planets. I don't know if they're like sort of like moons of this one. They call them ice dwarfs, so I don't know. But then we have the smallest, which I think they say is the closest to Earth. Smallest star is called Proxima Centauri, red dwarf star. Okay, and then the planets circling it are, they got Osiris, which is a rocky planet, probably similar to Mercury again. And then we got Amun, Earth-like rocky planet, and they got a space station there. I don't know if this. I don't really know what the deal is with the space stations. I don't know. This is like future plans by somebody. I don't know. And then we got Isis, a rocky ice planet. Isis. That sounds ominous. Like they might attack people. Then we got Matt, ice planet. Okay. Then we got Seth, an ice planet. Okay. Then we got a rocky dwarf planet called Hathor. Yeah, dwarf planet. And then we have Anubis, ice giant. Ice giant. That kind of sounds to me kind of like Neptune, something like Neptune or something. Then we got Anput. Some of these names sound like Egyptian. Rocky ice dwarf planet. That sounds like I think the way they drew these two. And then they got Thoth. These two kind of seem like moons of this one. Then you have an inner dust belt. So these are all in the inner dust belt. So they're all look like they're all dwarf planets, except maybe this one, the Ta. It's larger than the others, but the rest of them are dwarf planets. I'm not going to go over every one of them. There's Pepsi, or Joe Pesci, and then you got the outer dust belt. Ice-dominated asteroid belt. Yeah, so just asteroids. So there's probably lots of smaller asteroids, you know. Nefertim ice dwarf planet. So anyway, we have all of this, which you know, it's all like a little over 4 light years away. Seems a little premature to actually know that, or think that we know that this is all really what it's all there at the moment, because my idea or my thinking is I don't see how we could know that all this is, I mean, we could know about these big stars and we could probably sort of see some of these specks a little bit, but to actually have them all, you know, exactly what they are and have them all named, and you know, it's just, I think it's a little premature to be jumping to the final conclusion of exactly what these all are, and they're all their exact sizes. I mean, like say like this guy, Zeus. They've already got exactly what it is, exactly the size. I mean, I don't know. Maybe one of these things is, I don't really understand what all these things are, but it's like they might have like the period of the rotation around the star. It's kind of like how long their year is. The Y, that might be their how long their year is. Like that's 2.58 times like one of our years. I don't know if that's what that means. And like the mass of the planet and the size, the diameter, and all this stuff. How can they know that if it's so far away? I really don't know that that's all true. I think it's what maybe they believe. I don't know if this is who made this or how they found out or why they think this is all true. And if it is all true, it's like, I mean, who gave them the right to name everything? I mean, who named all this stuff? I mean, I don't know. But anyway, so all I know is that this one, Proxima Centauri, it says it's 4.2 light years from Earth. I don't know if any of this is saying that, because I don't really understand all these abbreviations. Like KM, I think that's kilometers. AU, I think AU is something unit, like it has something to do with the size of something. It might be like the distance from the sun to the earth or something. I'm not sure. And then I don't know if Y means year and D means day. I don't know. I don't know what all that means. But anyway, so maybe someday this will actually come to pass and be true. I mean, it's like, what's that, 45 years from now? So, a lot can happen in 45 years. This is all up in the air. Shoot, the Earth, human beings might not even exist in 45 years. We might have blown ourselves up. Who knows? Or the Earth might have just been destroyed or something. We may have destroyed the Earth by then. Who knows? So anyway, I have hope for us, and I want us to succeed, but it kind of seems like we're destined to destroy ourselves. It kind of seems like that's just the way people are, that they just want to fight and be in war. I mean, just look around the world. Russia's at war with Ukraine. Lots of people are at war with Israel. It's like, North Korea wants to fight everybody. China and Taiwan can't get together. It's just, there's like problems all over the place. I don't know. So anyway, just gotta hope for the best, I guess. So anyway, hopefully we can survive and then eventually be able to create spaceships that can travel fast enough and at like 1/25th the speed of light, so that we can get to Alpha Centauri in 100 years. and then once we get there, start colonizing, creating, like in that image, we can. I'm sorry. We can. So we can start colonizing. I mean, this is probably they're imagining what this is. I mean, shoot, how many space stations they got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They got 7 space stations in this image. And that's going to take a while. And just getting here would take a while. So this is like 500 or more years in the future or something, what this image is showing. Unless we can, we have some sort of super fast way of building things, in the future, which certainly could be true, or maybe we can just fly the space stations there all at once, in like maybe a couple hundred years we can already have them built and then fly them out there. And then we just have, fly 10 of them out there, and we'll have 10 of them, or whatever, all at once, Who knows what we'll be able to do, a couple hundred years from now. We've progressed pretty good in the last couple hundred years. Shoot, 100, 200 years from back in the past. What was that, 1824? We didn't even have cars yet. We were still riding around on horses and buggies. We didn't have airplanes. We didn't have cars. We had ships and horses and buggies. Covered wagons. Didn't even have trains yet. Not really. I mean, let me see. When did we create trains? Let's see. What was the first train? Okay, 1804. The first train was a steam-powered locomotive built in 1804. Okay, so we did have trains in 1824, but they were pretty new. They were only 20 years old in 1824, so not the advanced trains that we have today by any means. So we did have trains, but they were very very new, and we probably didn't have much in the way of train tracks by 1824. So yeah, I mean the train tracks we have today, train tracks just going from one side of the country to the other probably didn't get finished until at least the 1850s. So. But I'm diverting from the topic. I was trying to talk about this. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. I just wanted to talk about that. Hopefully by 2069 we're going. We've got a spaceship that's going to go to Proxima Centauri and get there in about 100 years, and then we'll start. Once we get there, then we can, start exploring that solar system. And, by 2069, hopefully we've got Mars colonized pretty good. And maybe even some other places in our solar system, like some of the moons of Jupiter or Saturn. I think there's some of those moons that could possibly be colonized, like Titan. Let me see. What is the moon of Titan? Titan moon. It's the largest moon of Saturn. Okay. Second largest in Second largest in the solar system. It's the only moon known to have an atmosphere. Okay. Can humans live on the Titan moon? It's the only other body in the solar system in which humans could possibly live in the future. It's the only possible destination that works similar to Earth, and is the only body that has liquid on or near its surface. Okay. So Titan. Okay. Maybe we can, after colonizing Mars, we can try to start colonizing Titan. That'd be the next step out. Although I think past the asteroid belt is Jupiter. I think Jupiter's the next. Let's see, our solar system. I think Jupiter's the next planet. Yeah. So you got Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, and then you got Jupiter. All right, and then you got Saturn, and then the Uranus and Neptune. Yeah. So Jupiter would come up next, and I don't think that we want to get too close to Jupiter, because I think there's a lot of I think it gives off some deadly rays, like electromagnetic rays of some sort. So I don't think it's safe to be near Jupiter, and you definitely can't live on Jupiter because it's a big gas cloud planet. Can't live on Saturn either. But they say Titan, you could possibly live on Titan. So I guess Titan must be outside the rings of Saturn. Like you got the rings. I think Jupiter has rings too. Very thin rings. So anyway, alright, so colonize Mars, and then sometime in the future, maybe by 2050 we can try to go colonize Titan. Yeah, maybe. So alright then, that's my video. Hope you like it, and hope that hope this comes to pass sometime in the future, probably after I'm already dead and buried. Not to get morbid, but that's that's the way it goes. So alright then. Alright, y'all have a good evening, and see you in the next video.